We're here with Eddie Koller, Managing Director of Howard Sloan and Koller, a technology and media recruiting firm, to get the inside scoop of what it's like to be in the headhunting business. Hi, Eddie.
Hi, Vivian.
The headhunting business is so secretive to those not in the industry. Can you give us a detailed account of what goes on behind closed doors when you're trying to broker a deal between a company and a client?
Absolutely. That's a great question. And first off, there's never a dull moment. So what we do behind closed doors is we run a pretty efficient process. We're retained by our client companies, but we also advise candidates throughout the process. So first we find the candidates, and we have a pretty extensive database, and also utilize other sources out there. And we also go through referrals. We advise candidates on how they position themselves to clients, helping them with their resume, and also advise them on the interview process. And then on the flip side, with our clients, we advise them on what they're looking for in the roles and why they should meet with this candidate. And there's also usually 2 or 3 sets of interviews for each process. So we manage that process soup to nuts, and we even take it through the end where the client's negotiating the comp package, and a deal is never done until the person actually shows up in the job on the first day. So our job is really to manage it and to make sure the search gets done and make sure that both parties are happy, and that's a win-win for both the client that we're advising as well as our client company that we're representing.
To ensure that your client gets the best possible deal, how much say do they actually have in the negotiations, or do you rely more on your own expertise?
Each client in search is different. I mean, some clients like to negotiate directly with candidates at the very end, and some clients like to rely upon us to handle the negotiations and be that middle person or that buffer. And when we're sitting in the middle, the clients can tell us certain things, candidates can tell us certain things. In the end, it has to be a win-win for both sides. So when negotiating comp packages, we know where a candidate currently is. We have a pretty good sense of where they're looking to be in their next role. And from the client's perspective, we know where a client can go with respect to compensation for the role. I mean, some clients, when they negotiate, their first offer is their best offer. And in other cases, there's a bit of wiggle room and they expect the candidate to negotiate.
What is your technique behind poaching someone? How do you introduce yourself?
When we conduct searches, we look for both passive job seekers as well as active job seekers, and each search is different depending on what the client's looking for. So when we reach out to candidates, we've been in business for 40 years. We handle about 100 searches each year across our various functions, so we have a pretty robust database and we know a lot of people. So a lot of times we'll reach out to someone, we will have worked with them in the past, and in other cases when we reach out to them, we're introducing ourselves, talking about the history of the firm, and usually when we reach out to somebody, we have a pretty good sense of what they're doing and why the opportunity that we're representing would be compelling to them. So in other cases, we get introductions through other friends in the industries. I mean, nothing beats having a referral from someone that a candidate trusts.
On the other hand, how can a candidate get on a headhunter's radar? Can they just cold call you? Do they just send you their resume?
Okay. It's all about being mindful in your approach. When somebody reaches out to me and just has a quick email that doesn't really, it doesn't really identify themselves or why they're reaching out or why it's a good use for us to connect, then I'm less likely to respond. But when somebody actually takes the time to look at my profile, maybe we have some connections in common, maybe going back to referrals, maybe someone that I might know might reach out to me on their behalf and copy them and actually have a compelling story as to why it makes sense for us to meet, then I'm more inclined to respond and to take the meeting. But again, with anything, it's about your approach. It's about doing your research, and it's really saying, why does it make sense for us to meet? And again, it's relationship building.